Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Hannah. I post videos on all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle related that are also vegan and cruelty-free. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please hit that subscribe button and stick around and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Today I wanted to do a little get ready with me. I haven't done one of these in a while and you guys always ask about what kind of products I like to use. So this is going to be like kind of my everyday go-to makeup look when I don't want to think about anything. It's the easiest look for me. So we're going to be doing that, and then I thought we would talk about some things I wanted to catch you guys up on. I basically haven't talked about anything wedding related on this channel since I got engaged, which was over a year ago. So crazy to think that. But I definitely wanted to touch on what our plan is, things like being a COVID bride, things like being a vegan bride, and all of these sort of things that have kind of popped up. So let's just get right on into it. I'm gonna start out by using this vegan care balm from Pacifica, and I'm gonna put this on my lips so that it moisturizes my lips while I do the rest of my face makeup. All right, and I think I'm actually gonna start with eyes. I switch it up all the time. I actually usually start with face, but I feel like it's probably better to start with eyes just because it's less messy that way. So I'm gonna start with this eye primer from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This eye primer is so thick and really, really great. So you only need like the tiniest dot. And I'm just going to pack that onto the eyelids. I'm really glad I bought the smaller size of this primer because it actually comes in a bigger size. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get the small size and make sure I like it first. Oh, I would never go through the big size. Like if you're a professional makeup artist, maybe you would wanna get the big size, but there's no way you would ever, I don't even know how I'm gonna get through the mini size. So highly recommend getting the mini. Do not get the bigger size. All right, so as you can see, it's like very light. It's like a light neutral-ish color. And then for my eye look, I love coppery, reds, browns, that kind of family of eyeshadows. That's pretty much what I stick to just because I know it looks good on me. All right, so I'm going to start out with this palette from Aether Beauty. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Poppy right here as a transition shade. I just feel like it's a really pretty warm neutral. So I guess for those of you who are new here, I got engaged a little over a year ago, and I have been with my partner for the time we got engaged. We'd been together for 11 years. Now we've been together for 12 years, which is insane to even think about. I don't know where the time went. And yeah, we waited a really long time, and I share this because I don't want people to feel discouraged if your plan doesn't look like everybody else's. I mean, we caught a load of flack for waiting so long, and like you just deal with so much outside pressure from people, and the whole time we were together we were really happy with where we were at, and it wasn't really something that we prioritized, yet I feel like we were constantly made to feel like guilty about it, or like that something was wrong. I always knew it was something that would happen, and I also knew that Jesse wanted it to be a surprise when it did happen, so it wasn't something that we were like actively talking about and planning together, which a lot of couples do, and that's totally fine, but that's just not what we wanted to do. We prioritized a lot of other things in our lives financially first. We both built businesses and we've invested in things, and we couldn't do it all financially, so getting married and having like a wedding kind of took a back seat. Also, I was never really sure if I wanted to have a full wedding, and I'm still not sure, but we're doing it. Before we got engaged, I honestly just pictured us getting a photographer and a video person and going abroad and just doing like one massive vacation, taking beautiful photos, and asking like, you know, 10 to 15 of our closest friends to come and do it with us, which I still love that idea so much, but we ended up going a different direction. So in September of last year, he popped the question. I will leave that video in the description box if you're interested in watching. I ugly cry like Kim Kardashian. It's amazing. You know, right after we got engaged, we were just kind of like throwing out ideas. We were definitely throwing out, you know, just eloping and using the money that we would use for a wedding to try to save up for a house or something like that. So having a full wedding was never something we were super sure on. So we took some time to talk about it and discuss things and weigh things out. And one thing that like really hit it home for us was that our most memorable weddings that we'd been to had been destination weddings. And then when we thought about eloping, it was really hard to narrow it down to such a small group of people, because then when you start thinking about the people in your life, you're like, of course you want your family there, and then of course you want your friends there, and then of course you want your other friends there, and it just became like hard to imagine leaving so many people out. And so then we started entertaining the idea of having a full wedding. It is so weird. I swear to you, if you would have asked me over a year ago before I was engaged, I would have said, we're eloping, we're not doing a wedding, no way. And then it was just like something changed when we got engaged, where I was like, you know what, I kind of like the idea of a wedding. And also the fact that we could do a wedding our way, and we don't have to conform to a super traditional wedding, you know. And I think that was like a lot of my opposition, was that I don't find us to be a super traditional couple by any means. So to have like a very full traditional wedding just didn't seem right for us. So we decided to do a destination wedding. It seemed like the perfect middle road between a huge wedding and a really, really small wedding, because obviously not everybody's going to be able to make it, which we totally understand. So it is going to be a smaller wedding than had we done it, you know, an hour away from our house or something like that. All right, then I'm going to go in with this pretty orange shade. It's called Ember Glow, and just kind of like put that more in the crease. So yeah, once we decided on destination, we just started looking up places. I looked on Pinterest. I looked on they have all these like wedding vendor type websites. But I did a lot of looking on Pinterest and Instagram and stuff like that. Two of our favorite places we've ever been to are Italy and Greece. And so we were definitely throwing those two in the air as ideas. But then when it came to thinking about older family members traveling, that just seemed like such a long trip for everybody. So we decided to do something closer. So we are getting married in Mexico, and we're so excited about that. It's still a destination, but it's still close enough to the States that we feel like it'll be easier for people to get there. And I'm not going to say exactly in Mexico where it is just yet, but most likely you've never heard of it. Most people have never heard of it. I did a lot of research, and we actually booked the venue blindly, which is insane. But it just kind of felt like it was meant to be. Like, I kept finding this specific place in Mexico, kept popping up a bunch of different places to get married in that specific town. And then our venue came up, and I was like, this is it. This is everything I've wanted. Like, I really had this whole vibe in mind, and for like from start to finish of the whole experience, and this venue just fit the bill so perfectly. And it's so beautiful, and I cannot wait to share more of it with you guys. Yeah, I really liked the idea of it being somewhere where people had never been before, because it's going to be a new experience for everybody, which I just think is so memorable and so fun. So we are really excited about that. Once I found the venue and I was like, this is it, then I was like, all right, we're going to have to blindly book this, because there's no way we're going to be able to just book a ticket and go to Mexico just to like make sure that this venue is good. And also that venue only had 2 dates available for 2020. So literally we had no option but to book it pretty immediately. So basically I just slid in the DMs of every bride and every groom I could find who got married at that venue. And I said, give me the juice. Like, give me the good, give me the bad, give me the in-between. Like, I want to know everything about this venue. Did you run into any hiccups? Like, what do you suggest? And everybody was so nice and so honest. And it was honestly like one of those moments where you're like, wow, people are so nice. Like, especially when you're getting married. I don't know what it is about, like, I think just people know how like special of a time it is, and so they want to help you. But these total strangers were just like helping me out, giving me all this information, giving me tips of like things they wish they would have done differently. Like so freaking nice. So after I talked to probably like 20 to 30 people about this venue, and everybody said it was literally the best trip, the best venue. They loved everything about it. So then I felt really good about it and really comfortable blindly booking. Still to this day, I have not seen the venue in real life. So I hope it's everything that I've pictured it to be in my head. But even if it's not, it's going to be great anyways. It's about having everybody we love in one spot and celebrating. So now I'm going to go in with this palette from Illamasqua, and I'm going to take this pretty copper color right here and pack that onto the lids. Anyways, our original date was for November of this year, and obviously coronavirus happened, and we were very calm and optimistic still that things were gonna work out, and we honestly just like weren't even worried. I mean, if you think about it, in March, could you have ever pictured that we would still be dealing with this today? Like, no, no way. And then as the months went on, we started realizing there's a chance that this isn't gonna happen. So with the help of our planners, who I'll talk about, they're literally amazing lifesavers. Couldn't get married without them, truly. They were like, all right, you guys should think about a date where you want to set for the future, and then you're gonna make a decision on that date. Do we reschedule or do we go forward? And so we set that date for like, I think it was like July or August, sometime in July or August. And you know, things were not looking good for coronavirus still, so we were like, you know what? Let's just see what our options are for rescheduling, because there is just no way that things are gonna be back to normal by then, or even partially back to normal by then. And especially with it being a destination wedding, we would never want to pressure people to like fly and potentially get sick. And both Jesse and I, we would feel just awful if anything were to happen. All right, I'm gonna add some more of this orange shade back in to kind of define the crease. So yeah, we decided that we should explore options. So we reached out to our vendor, and they were not allowing any cancellations, which at that time was okay with us because we didn't even want to cancel or think about canceling at that time, but they were allowing a reschedule to the following year for a fee, which I feel like has been pretty standard. But I do know there's so many people who did not get their deposits back on their venue, and that is just so sad. I know that, you know, the wedding industry is suffering as well, but I can't imagine if we weren't able to reschedule to next year and then like had to lose all that money. I can't even think about it, honestly. I think Jesse and I would just go and make it one very luxe vacation for the two of us. Yeah, so we were very lucky in that respect, at least, that we were able to reschedule to next year. So we have officially postponed to October of next year. So very excited about that, and I will be sharing more of the planning process and things like that. But those of you who are also COVID brides, I feel you, and I'm sending you my love, because, you know, I don't think anything can prepare you for planning for a wedding only to have it not happen. Wedding planning is already, we hired wedding planners, and it is still so stressful for me. The whole idea of it is so stressful to me. So I just feel so hard for those of you who have been affected by this worse than we have. It's insane. All right, I'm adding this cute little gold to the inner corners. I'm gonna use this Milk Hydro Grip Primer to prime my face. So yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been through such a journey of emotions when it comes to this. It's like, at the end of the day, there are so many more serious things going on than our wedding, but I also think it's important, while recognizing that you are blessed and being thankful for all the great things in your life, I do think it's important to go through the grieving process of, when things don't work out. We waited so long to get married, and then it's kind of funny if you think about it that the year we were supposed to get married, it didn't happen because a pandemic. Who could have thought? All right, and then I'm gonna go in with this foundation from Oma Beauty. This is the Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation in Fair Lady T3W. I love this foundation. It is my current fave. So not gonna lie, I grieved the death of our original wedding. And we've talked about so many different things and thrown around so many different ideas. And I think, if anything, we've just, it's just another lesson in learning that things are out of your control and you just gotta roll with the punches. And, I really firmly believe in the timing of our lives. And so I just feel like I'm just trusting the fact that there's a reason that this happened. And I think, if things hopefully clear up, that by 2021, it's just going to be the best. I mean, I can't even imagine, after not being able to see our friends for a full year, after not being able to travel, we get to travel and see our friends and celebrate our love. Like, that is just, the idea of it it makes me blissed out. Like, I'm so excited about that. So, trying to stay positive, but again, like I said, I feel for those of you who are in the same shoes as us. So we've tossed out a lot of ideas in the process of this, like maybe having a civil ceremony and still having the actual wedding. And I just think that the thing is, I've had a lot of fears about, like, what are people going to think about this? What are people going to think about that? And the thing is like nobody's ever gone through this before. It's a pandemic. Nobody could have ever possibly planned this. Nobody knows how to deal with it. We're all going through it together. And so I think, like, whatever you decide, if you decide to go forward with your wedding and have it just be a smaller wedding, socially distanced, if you decide to postpone, if you decide to cancel, if you decide to elope, if you decide to have a civil and a full wedding ceremony, like, I think anything goes. That is my philosophy on it. I have stressed so much about doing things right and, like, is this okay? But traditions are out the window this year. There's no way you can plan for something like this. And just not to mention, there's so many unknowns for the future. All right, and then I'm gonna go in with this concealer from Kosas. This is in the shade 2. I love this concealer. I'm almost out of it, which makes me sad. I need to get some more. And I'm just gonna add a little bit to the inner corners. I like to swoop up by the eye. I like to do the center of my face, my chin, and I like to do a little down here. So I'm trying to think of questions that I've been asked so I can answer them here, but I do want to do a wedding series on here. Like I said, I never wanted a wedding, and I'm doing one anyways, so you're gonna get this from the perspective of someone who didn't think she wanted to have a wedding but is doing one anyways. Someone who also, like, we didn't even know if we were going to get married at certain points. Like, we were totally happy just not getting married. All right, so then I'm going to contour with this Jouer concealer in the color Coffee. And I'm just going to, like, draw little, like, swooshes on my cheeks and on the forehead. Down here to slim the face, and a tiny bit on the nose, and a little right here. Oh, that's another thing. I already shopped for and paid for my dress and everything before we canceled. I'm also getting shoes custom made. I cannot freaking wait to share the shoes with you guys. Like, I am so excited about this. And yeah, I'm like very, very excited about the dress and the shoes. Obviously, once you get a dress and shoes, you're like, I'm a fashion girl. So to me, that's like my favorite part of getting married is, aside from obviously the love of my future husband and celebrating our love together, like to wear a beautiful dress like that. When do you ever get a chance to do that again in your life? I don't know. That stuff just like really excites me. So also at that point, I'm like, okay, we had the venue paid for, we have the dress, like we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the wedding. I filmed a video of me finding my dress and trying on dresses and stuff, and I really do want to post that still because I think it's super helpful. I had no freaking idea what I was getting into, so I am planning on sharing that, but that was filmed like literally almost a year ago now at this point. All right, I'm gonna take this Derma Blend banana powder and take a little sponge and add like a good amount under my eyes. So I'm gonna dust that off now. And then I'm gonna add a tiny, tiny bit of this Hourglass translucent veil setting powder to the rest of my face. So let me know if there's anything in particular you guys want to know that's wedding related. I feel like a question I've been asked a lot is it going to be vegan? And the answer is yes. I obviously am a very passionate vegan, so I think everyone is gonna be fine if they have to eat plants for one night. And it's gonna be bomb because I'm a foodie, and yeah, we found the like one vegetarian restaurant that is going to make us a full vegan. Like I'm so excited about it. I can't even begin. It's gonna be so bomb. And people honestly probably won't even notice that it's vegan. And it's gonna be authentic to the area. That's what we decided to do. We're lucky that, you know, the people in our life are pretty understanding about that. And I'm sure there will be people that have opinions on it. And I don't care. Yeah, so I am really excited about the food. I think everybody else is gonna love it as well. I also totally understand that there are situations where, you know, you might be vegan, your family isn't, your family's paying for it, they want to have non-vegan food there. Like, everybody's situation is different, and I totally empathize with that, and I don't think that makes you a bad person if something like that is out of your control. Also, weddings are so stressful, and if that's just a battle that you do not have the energy to fight, I totally understand that. But for us, Jesse and I are both vegan, so like we don't want dead animals at our wedding. I didn't even tell you what blush I'm using. So I'm using the Lawless blush in Phoenix. It is such a pretty color. And then I'm gonna actually usually do bronzer first. I messed that up. I will go in with the Sun-Kissed Bronze from Cover FX. I think with anything wedding related, people are gonna have opinions. Whether you're vegan or not, someone's gonna have an opinion about your wedding, and you just have to like forget about it. You know, it's your day, and you just can't let people's opinions. I don't think I've ever been to a wedding where someone didn't have an opinion on how something was done. We're having an epic vegan wedding. Tequila is also vegan, so there will be lots of that. Ding! All right, now I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Light, and I'm gonna go in with this pretty gold color in the middle. I've had some people ask me if I'm worried about our new date. And to be honest, I'm just trying not to think about it or stress about it, because again, it's so far away and it's so out of our control that like whatever happens. We're just staying very optimistic and hoping that we can get it together before then as a country. And now I'm going in with the Bare Minerals Brow Gel in the color Coffee. So yeah, I feel like that's the only thing you can do is just let go of any expectations that you have, even though that's impossible, but just know that, you know, anything can happen. And at the end of the day, it is all about your love for each other and your commitment to each other. And if you get to have a big old grand party to celebrate it now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, whatever, like, who cares? Because that's all that matters. All right, I'm gonna put some setting spray on. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Pollution Protection. Oh yeah, and I wanted to tell you guys about our wedding planners, because through all of this, they have been, like, honestly, angels. I can't even imagine going through this, having to make decisions, having to talk to vendors, having to figure out what's happening if it weren't for them. So I'm gonna leave their information in the description box down below, but you're gonna hear a ton more about them as we get closer to our wedding and stuff like that. But they focus on plant-based and sustainable weddings. And when I found that out, I was like, this is a perfect match. So of course they were so helpful finding the vegetarian restaurant, and I know on the day they're gonna make sure that everything is as sustainable as possible, which I am so excited about. This eyeliner, I rubbed off the brand, but I'm gonna link it in the description box. It's my favorite, and I need to order a new one. Yeah, so both of our planners have a ton of experience in hospitality, which is amazing, because for me, one of my main reasons for wanting to hire planners was that back and forth with vendors, negotiating contracts and all that stuff is just not my expertise. I hate that side of any business. And so I knew that I was gonna need help with that, and they are so experienced in it. They know how to read contracts. They know how to see, like, little things that might be slipped in there that, you know, wouldn't work to our benefit. And they just have our best interests at heart, and it's really nice to have somebody who's rooting for you when you're, you know, spending so much money, and you know, somebody who can help you stay on budget and stay on track and make sure that you stay on time with things, because there's so many things that you have to, like, pay for, and everything needs to be paid by a certain date, and it's all a different date, and it's like, I just don't even know how people plan their own weddings and have a full-time job and live their life. Like, I just can't. I don't know. We are so grateful for them. So, I mean, if you can squeeze in a planner into your budget, I highly recommend it. It is the best decision that we made. You know, I would, if I were to try to plan it myself, that would be the one wedding I've ever planned. They've planned hundreds of weddings. All the things that could go wrong, all the little hiccups, they've already been through it. They've already dealt with it. Like, it would just be new territory for me all around. And I just, even, you know, Jesse's been so involved in the process as well. Even splitting the responsibilities would just be too much. Yeah, so they are Los Angeles based, but obviously our wedding is a destination wedding, so I don't think they would be opposed to taking weddings in other places. So I will link their stuff in the description box, and you can reach out to them. All right, now I'm gonna curl my lashes and add the Bare Minerals Strength and Length Mascara. I love the wand on this thing. It's very similar to the brow gel. It's just like these little plastic bristles. Going to go in with this from the Lip Bar. It's in the shade Straight Lovin'. It's a really nice dark nude. I also have a blog. I don't know if you guys know that, but I do. That's actually how I started getting into this internet world. Before I did YouTube, I had a blog. Recently I posted our engagement photos, so definitely go check out that post. We did like a movie theater themed engagement photo shoot because we wanted to do something authentic to who we are. We're not like beach people, so going to the beach and taking beach photos, while gorgeous, and obviously if you live by the coast, a great way to take advantage of that. We never go to the beach. So we're more like movie theater people, and I love them. This is Bare Minerals Hydro Smoothing Lipstick in the color Presence. I think this is such a pretty fall color. It's kind of like a raisin. I feel like it goes really well with like more orangey tones, as well as like a mauve, more of like a cool toned look if you're more into that as well. I think it's just really versatile. It's kind of like a, like I said, yeah, like a raisin color. All right, so that is the finished look. This is definitely my like go-to makeup look when I want to do a full makeup look, but I don't want to think about it. This is my go-to. It's fall, it's warm, it's pretty. If you have green eyes, these types of colors are so, so good with green eyes. If you guys have any questions about my big fat vegan wedding that may or may not happen, knock on wood, knock on wood, leave them in the comments down below. And if you don't care about wedding stuff, don't worry. This is not going to be a wedding takeover. There will still be plenty of other content like dogs, vegan food, and makeup and fashion. Don't worry. I hope you guys liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave, and I will see you guys next time in another video. Bye!